This has got to be the best episode of Keijo ever. The book couldn't handle it, people. There was so much to write. Cue that music. Alright, this episode couldn't have started any better. What better way to start an episode about ass? Showing us two guys are apparently in love. Yeah, apparently Fujisaki, who goes against Nozomi, she apparently likes yaoi animes, I guess. That's what they showed us in the beginning. These two guys are apparently in love with each other. But I'm not even going to go more into that because that is completely whatever. This episode is honestly, so far, I know I said this about the 4th episode, which was amazing. But this episode was better than that one. Mainly because of the whole fight between Fujisaki and Nozomi, other known as Beetle and it was just amazing, guys. The fight between the full auto Cerberus against the vacuum butt cannon. FAC versus VBC. Because apparently Fujisaki is able to feel the vibration of the land, which helps her basically predict the moves that her opponents are going to do. She did fight someone. She would not face them, and that she bothered these girls in this match why she wouldn't face them, because she just doesn't have to look at her competitors, and she just didn't want to because she didn't really have that much of an interest in Keijo sports. Her mother was a prize queen, and her sister is a current Keijo fighter, so it's in her blood, and it's been in her family, and it's pretty interesting that you have somebody that's like that. She's the only person we know. She doesn't really care for this. She doesn't really want to pay attention to any of it. She let Cerberus, which is her ass when it makes the aura of a dog, like, do all the work. She even talks to it as if it's another human being or another person. And apparently she had a reputation of not ever facing her opponents. But that all changed when she go against her girl Beetle and she makes her have to actually pay attention to her when she... Another fan service moment, more extreme, honestly. I'm surprised they even got away with this, is when Nozomi basically vibrates her ass, which caused the vibrating hip, vibrates her ass onto Fujisaki's ass, basically rendering her concentration and making her very sensitive, because Kawaii even said she's sensitive down south. And to mention, as soon as she said that, they showed us those two girls' camel toes and the water dripping. Now come on, guys. Come on. It was just ridiculous, but it worked, and it was a smart move by Nozomi for even having that thought. She didn't even know that Fujisaki could even do like that move and even predict people's attacks and know how sensitive she was, actually. But that was smart of her. I'll tell you, Nozomi knows a thing or two. After the whole vibration, Fujisaki was getting bothered, and then she turned around, basically ruining her reputation of never facing her opponents. She had to use her breast to actually land some attacks. And the funny thing about her attacks, actually, it was with Cerberus, she would grab onto like the girl's clothes with like her butt cheeks, which actually looked kind of odd to me, unless you're just looking at Cerberus grabbing hold of it. That makes more sense, but that aspect was just weird. And this whole episode was surrounded by this entire fight. What an amazing one, because these girls were both giving it their all. Like, don't get me wrong, Fujisaki wasn't giving her all at the beginning, but then when she saw how tough Nozomi actually was and how she wasn't going down without a fight, she actually had to put a lot of more effort. And especially when she saw the vacuum butt cannon, which she dodged the first time. The second time, she decided to take it head on, and wow, I am amazed. This show did what a generic animes usually do when they make two powers collide. And it's funny to see this in a show about asses. You got the full auto cannon versus the freaking vacuum butt cannon. It was an amazing collision. Those two were basically appearing as if they were chasing each other. And if you kind of look a little bit more at Nozomi's like aura, it looked like a fish, if I do say so myself. And it was a fish, and then you have the Cerberus, and they're going in a circle, and they're rotating so many times that it created a whirlwind, which was actually crazy in itself. And that basically you discover a more gust of wind, actually helping the vacuum butt cannon. Once they collide, they both were seeming like as if they're equal, but no. You look more into it, the vacuum butt cannon summons almost to the wind, and then the wind basically helped our girl, Nozomi, to pound her ass literally out of the waters. Or correction, into the water. After this whole fight, and our girl Nozomi won, all the girls were promoted. There are girls that are promoted, then there's girls that are demoted. I'm assuming that the leads that lost were demoted. If they were, then honestly, that kind of sucks. One loss makes you demoted. That doesn't seem kind of fair, don't you think? The girls were promoted, and Ayuba, she was actually worried because she lost to Kusaki. But granted, it's not her fault because Kusaki is an elite, and at the same time, apparently Kusaki wasn't supposed to use the attack, the titty hypnosis. they banned that, and they said that you're not supposed to use that against actually unexperienced people. And it was funny because they just pull these things based on their legs, and then you just hear her saying no. It's just funny hearing Japanese people speak English. It's just one of the little funny things. And Ayuba was really happy that the fact that she got to be promoted with her friends. It's not just because Kusaki used a move that wasn't allowed. It was the fact that Ayuba was able to use her own skills, and she actually has some perks. The hand scanning and the teamwork that she did there actually could be futuristic, can actually be helpful for future references. I'm just saying, the fact that they say it's a team sport, that could come in handy way more than usual, but she will have to fill their asses. And then this episode ends off with another character being introduced, which actually appears to seem like the same character from the first episode that we seen that got Nozomi into it, but at the same time, even though she was very similar to her, I'm pretty sure that character in the first one had white highlights, and this one doesn't seem like she has it. She was saving Nozomi from a brick of logs with her ass, which, I'm just saying, how strong are these asses? Guys, if you think you know how strong the asses are, or you have a thought how strong the asses are, yeah, I just want you to comment below. Give me your thoughts. I'm curious. Let me know what you think of that episode. Let me know if you thought it was bad. Let me know if you thought it was good. If you think that next episode is going to be even better, or do you think there are going to be better fights to come? What do you think of the fight? Let me know. See that part where she was vibrating her ass? Please, it's 10 minutes. This episode was a 5 out of 5. A shining star, guys. I'm Red Star Geek. I'm signing off. Like if you dare, subscribe if you care.
I'm like a star, I'm burning out fast. I try to shine, but it's never gonna last.